Holy hell. It has been so fucking difficult just to get this thing going. So let's get this fucking thing going.
Maybe in the last minute of your life, you want to be something more than a goddamn savage! Annunziare l'indagine. Prego, sono automatus. Like this, girl. Like being glued for the immortal.
What is happening, my savage friends? You are listening to the voice of Immortal COIL. It is 4:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, West Coast. Saturday the 8th of April, 2023. It is time, my friends. Fuck that band. It is time to get savage. Holy fucking hell. Heaven and earth it took to move fucking mountains just to get in here and do this thing. I'm currently coming at you from a fucking library, which is why the walls are hard and you're probably hearing an echo. I'd like to thank my good friends here with the balls to show up. Currently we got Papa Cotton, Mr. fucking Wook himself, the man with the wrench. Don't fuck with him. He fucks back. And then we got Curtis YZ. How you guys doing? You guys, and then there's somebody who hasn't sounded off yet. And whether you're listening to this live or listening to it on the replay, go ahead and lift high whatever you are imbibing. Take a big gulp and join me in the savage salute. Here is to us. What is like us? Not a goddamn thing. There's the other one, Small Time Republic. What is up? What is up? How's it going? I want to take a few little moments here to remind you that the Savage Show is not for children. This broadcast can and will contain strong language, sensitive subject matter, images, and content intended for a mature 18 years or older audience. Viewer discretion, therefore, is advised, which means put your little ones to bed. Put them away. There's going to be some fuck words in here. This video contains copyrighted content. However, under the Fair Use Act, Section 504C2, Title 17 of the United States Code, this content is presented for the purposes of education and entertainment through the use of parody, satire, critique, analysis, and/or social commentary by means of subjective opinion. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You know when you wake up and you set out for the day, you have it fucking crystallized in your head how it's going to go, and it doesn't go that way. That's today. I made some fucking plans. I knew I was going to be going live. I thought I was going to be going live on somebody else's stream. Did not happen, but I am set up for it, and I figured, well, if they're not going to do it, I gotta fucking do it because no one's going to do it like me. You can just ask the savage harem, as it were. So I appreciate you guys coming out. Hi there, ho there. Go ahead and throw some likes on the video. I am at about 427 subs at this point. Savages, one and all. However, I've been at this game for a number of years, and for some reason, I do not have the numbers to show for it. So go ahead, send out the fucking link. Sit down and let me know who wants to show up for this savage lecture. It's been a strange kind of couple weeks. You know, I've been intending to go live. I've tried to go live, and for some reason, I've been getting some pushback, and I'm thinking that it might be a little bit in response to my attitude about going live. I haven't gone live in a little bit because I was trying to tack on my live appearances to the end of larger streams that I happen to participate in, because I'm figuring if you're getting done listening to one thing, you might follow me to another. That is an incorrect mindset because it's placing me as a reactionary being when really I should just fucking say what I say when I say it, and you're either there or you will listen to it at a time of your own choosing. Either way, doesn't bother me. I got to sound off like I fucking have a pair. I want to thank you for coming out the other day, Wook. Shit just didn't work out. Whether or not you've been keeping up, I actually am in a halfway house. I always introduce myself. My name's Immortal COIL. I'm a former one, which I know some of you have done. I don't recommend it if you don't have to necessarily, but if it is a necessity, fuck it. It is much better to tolerate bullshit and hypocrisy in your personal sphere. If you are tolerating bullshit and hypocrisy in your personal sphere, I would invite you to examine your character, examine your motivations for subjugating yourself to somebody else's whimsy. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably married or attached or in situations that you've devised. You're too far down the rabbit hole, too far gone. Yeah, okay, I'll give that to you. But you thought your way into a situation, you can think your way out of a situation. It's really not that hard, unless you make it so. Audio's breaking up. Yeah, dude, I'm in a fucking cement bunker. I'm actually in Pierce County Library somewhere because I got shit that I'm doing later. My setup is in King County, which don't ever visit there. Don't ever visit there. And I thought, well, you know, my buddy's probably most likely going to go live, so I can bitch about whatever fucking pop culture device he happens to have under his fucking bed next to his Fifi and his jerk off rag. That did not occur though, and you know, I too often lately I've just been like, well, fuck, they didn't stream, so now I don't get to stream. Nah, fuck it. I have a number of things to get off my chest. I'm going to try to do it in a succinct way. I have a little thing I wanted to show you guys. This has been my spirit animal for the past little couple days. This is of course Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you haven't seen that because you're like, oh, whatever, it's a kid's show. It is a kid's show. You could show it to your children. There's not many of those that I would recommend, especially if it's coming from Disney or Paramount or whatever the fuck. Avatar: The Last Airbender, interestingly, is where David Filoni got his first job and where George Lucas, prior to the most heinous and unforgivable of acts, acquired him. in this particular episode, Uncle Iroh has an asshole nephew. His asshole nephew is named Zuko. Zuko has been quote unquote disgraced by his father. He thinks by going out and capturing the Avatar, who's just a 12-year-old kid, that somehow his dad will restore his honor and then he'd be okay. And Uncle Iroh is trying to tell him that another man's opinion of you does not make you a man. What makes you a man? Well, we'll discuss that. Uncle Iroh got thrown in jail, and in a supreme example of warrior prowess and just badass thinking, he fooled the entire jail into making him believe that he was a lazy old fuck, but he was secretly pining away and fucking pounding the cement, losing his gut, getting fucking wrecked, and he broke himself out of fucking jail. Now that is a very great metaphor, especially for those of you who have done that inside your own goddamn mind. Now there are reasons why you should be a superior physical specimen. I will grant you that, but it all starts in the fucking head. If you don't believe you can, you won't, and you will sit around and make up whatever goddamn excuse you will have in order for doing that. This is a program called Savage Spirituality, Savage Perspective, depending on the fucking day of the week. Because really, it's all about a fucking head game. If you have ever been in jail, you know it's not fun. If you have not, I don't recommend it, not unless you have to. And if you end up going, make sure it's for a damn good reason. Make sure they're arresting you for something that you believe in and not for abject fuckery. Although sometimes abject fuckery is pretty fucking fun. I did go to jail a couple times because of abject fuckery. Not because of anything I believed in, but I was young and stupid. And when you're young and stupid, you do as the young and stupid do. Yeah, there we go. Curtis has been there. He goes, yep. Jail and head game. Jail. I suspect a couple of other fuckers listening right now has been to jail as well. And you don't have to speak up if that's you. Curtis YZ has the balls to share it. Obviously, I do too. But going to jail is a strange thing because right away, I suppose the first time you go to jail, you think of the times that you've seen jail portrayed in media. Jail is different from prison. Let me say that. Jail, you're not as likely to be put in with violent weirdos or like kids people who molest kids and shit like that. You're more likely to get thrown in with misdemeanors and shit like that. But it is monotonous. I will tell you this: when I went to jail, there was a time or two that I went that I didn't realize I was in jail until I sobered up. And then there was a time where I went relatively drunk, and I thought it was like a cartoon until I sobered up, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm not going to go anywhere." Didn't have any friends to write me. Didn't have anybody coming to visit me. There's no conjugal visits. If you're gonna, they advise you not to jerk off. You can probably find creative ways to do it in the shower, whatever the fuck. But it's not quite like you have to shave your head and get a tattoo and hook up with your race of choice to get protection. It's really not like that when you're in jail. Mostly I just made a face and people stayed away from me. You know, I'm pretty good at making people stay away from me. So doing that in a correctional situation isn't that hard. But it is interesting. I did have somebody that I look up to go to jail simply because some things he was saying didn't rub the status quo in the right way, so they threw him in jail. He's out of jail now. But While he was in jail, he had like his team of people, and you might guess who this is. He had his team of people who was giving regular updates and allowing him to send out emails or whatever. And most of the emails were kind of like, "Hey, if you like the cut of my jib, why don't you fucking join up with my fucking brain trust and whatever, make $1 million." I thought it was kind of funny though because I decided to look at it as a jail pen pal, and I don't know if they do that anymore. Like times have changed. I was in jail, shit, like 20 something years ago. Again, young and dumb. Uh, and if you're in jail long enough, there's opportunities to write to random people just to see if you'll get a response. And it's weird, some females find that sexy. They'll write an inmate and decide, hey, whatever. People get married, people get laid sometimes. Uh, those people wouldn't be me, but it happens. Uh, but I just kind of thought it was funny to treat this guy's sort of uh, emails as if they were like a write a jail pen pal thing. And he ended up, well, I thought he was writing back to me. He's not, but I thought, okay, this dude's writing shit to obviously to have somebody reply. So the first thing he wrote was this. It says, much like in life, prison is a battle against doubt. Every one of you is fighting the same fight. It's a battle that must be fought and won in order to reach the peaks of greatness. Doubt is insidious and creeping, thick and poisonous. It aims to engulf and constrict your mind, cutting off your ability to perceive the light. Many of you reading this have doubts. Doubt you can become great. Doubt of what is actually possible for you to achieve, but you need to destroy it. Doubt is not your ally. It is a poison that spreads. You must be rid of it absolutely. I am from government housing. I'm from the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder. I achieved all my success despite every statistic stating that I would fail. Doubt was all around me, but I never once adopted it. The destruction of doubt is one of the many secrets of Wudang. I became a master 2,973 years ago. You must train and become the same. And then, like I said, I thought that was pretty fucking cute. What most people do is kind of listen to shit like that and go like, wow, and hey man, let me like tell you how great you are, and like, dust off your dick. Which I imagine he got like a bazillion fucking replies along those lines. But a little secret in life is that if you want to go on to greater, broader, grander, the thing that you need to do is surround yourself with people who has either been there and can show you the way, or who are on the way in a way that inspires you with forward momentum. If you have a bunch of fuckheads hanging around, or detractors, or whiners, or little bitches, or little sycophants, or people who just complain because they haven't gotten theirs yet, you need to X those people from your lives yesterday, because they will drain you and your resources. Even if you decide that you have people like that in your life and you choose to ignore them, every time they make a little squeak in your ear, you have that moment where you have to be like, and then you go, okay, well, that's little fucking Johnny or little Susie. So I guess I'm not going to feed into that, but those are mental gymnastics, because in your deep in your balls that these people are taking up time. You're wasting your thoughts. You're wasting your energy just entertaining this fucking person who doesn't know how to do for themselves. And it's one thing if you don't know how to do for yourself and you show up and you go, hi, I'm Immortal Coil. I'm a savage, but I don't know how to do it this way. Will one of you please show me how? That's taking responsibility for your shit. But if I show up and I'm like, I'm Immortal Coil, and my friends, they all have like 10,000 subs, and I don't because, fuck YouTube. Ugh. I would expect somebody making noise like that to examine their purposes for being on YouTube. And if your purpose is to have 10,000 subs, then you can adjust your content to jerk off the algorithm, which is what YouTube wants you to do. Or you could admit to yourself that maybe you're doing something YouTube doesn't like, or you could sit back and learn. And that was a very savage and extreme example, but I think you guys know what I am saying. Um, so I thought it would be kind of funny to like shoot this guy back an email and you know pretend like he is actually like writing a pen pal and not just trying to amass followers. Even though I like the cut of his jib 95% of the time, I decided to do something different. So here's what I wrote back to him. I said, it's clever to take advantage of the potential mental psychic resources as they present themselves to you in the form of replies to your daily observations. I envy you in the fact that your stay in jail allows you access to said replies, for there was no such advantage for me the last time I found myself there. And yes, folks, this is how I write. This is how I speak. I really find it irritating that I have to dumb myself down to speak to most people. You guys aren't most people, though. You guys are fucking savages, and I know you understand and comprehend the English language. So, to it, I recently came across your interview with Samuel Leeds. That's another clue there. I did not find Mr. Leeds particularly interesting, save in one crucial way. He was able to pull out of you the fact that you had experimented with lucid dreaming as a non-local method of working on obstacles in your waking life. So I'm going to take a pause here. If you guys go to my channel, I have this thing recently where I've been talking to Chat GPT, partially because I think it's kind of funny, but I think it's active and dare it to kind of think. But it's kind of like talking to the Star Trek computer. It can't really like tell you anything. Original. It has a database, it has programming limitations, and whoever the fuck, I don't know, whoever works for Elon Musk, uh, limits its speculative abilities. But I talked to it about lucid dreaming. It's a pretty good video. It's about 20 minutes long. You can find it on YouTube. I'd prefer if you found it on Rumble. Rumble's actually probably a more viable option. Continuing on here, I must admit this surprised me given the amount of the shit that you've given multiple women over the belief in astrology, but I'm grateful that it provides perhaps an open avenue towards discussion in this particular subject. I practice what I prefer to term savage spirituality, which is a clever way to codify, quote, what works for me. And part of what works for me is utilizing non-physical components of self in order to assist in forging the optimum experience of the entire self. We can talk about the rest of it some other time. Savages United indeed. I appreciate it, guys. Pop a cotton in, trample the weak, and hurl the dead. Yes, sir. Pile up them fucking bodies. Continuing, you mentioned Wudong, which I know of as a part of the Neja tradition of martial arts. In addition to physical skill, a Neja practitioner develops non-physical skill by training their chi, which is usually misrepresented in the West as high woo-woo bullshit, completely unrelated to its actual function. Qi actually involves structure and intent, bringing a meditative quality to martial training in order to bring the self to 100% mental presence in such a way that whatever technique is being wrenched on is developed to its most efficient and devastating. There is an old adage of Bruce Lee's that goes, I'm going to try to sound like Bruce Lee. I do not fear the man who knows 1,000 kicks. I fear the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times. Yeah, my Spanish sounds more like a European camel that sometimes appears on Snowdub's channel. He was right. The thing is, the principles of martial arts extend beyond pugilism and into most fields of endeavor. I was taught that everything is kung fu. A true test of the utility of friendship is whether or not those around you spurn you on to greater heights despite whatever the exterior circumstance happens to resemble. So as you bide your time in the hole, I humbly recommend that you take advantage of your non-physical resources and utilize lucid dreaming. Create a place for meditation during your waking hours. You have the time, maximize it. Right back or not. But I do find utility in this exercise. The universe strives for balance. The human experience is out of balance. This is how it fixes itself. Recip solo couture, take care, immortal coil. That's right. And if I could have write like dick slams on the table afterwards, I probably would have. I probably should have. He probably would have thought that was funny. But there's a couple of things in there that I think is worth reflecting upon. Number one, that idea that everything is kung fu. Now, you might not call it kung fu. You might call it whatever the fuck. I call it kung fu because that's what I studied. Really like studying boxing or fighting or whatever the fuck. You're learning adaptative and situational ways to deal with pushback in the moment. Because life will fuck with you. Did you know that? Life will fuck with you. Life will attempt to fuck with you. And if there's something that you want with enough passion, life will attempt to go, okay, how badly do you want this? And then throw shit in the way. I wanted to go live today. And I had to find a way to do it. You know, actually, before I even started the stream, the internet was fussing at me. And then my computer didn't want to start up. And then, like, I didn't have enough battery life on my fucking headphones. And I would have gone on my fucking phone, my cell phone, if I had to, just because I've been trying to do this stream for like goddamn 3 weeks, you know? And it's tempting to be like, well, the universe doesn't want me to do it right now, so I guess I'll just have to wait. Sure. If you're trying to go to southern Japan and then a tsunami happens, it's probably not the time for you to go. But if you're just being lazy and eating ice cream, you know, there's a lot of like hot porn on the net. It's easy to stay home and jerk your dick. I know, I've done it. I've seen me do it. But it's more productive to actually get out there and do something. I had a dude the other day talking to me about trying to get a job. He's like, oh, I can't get a job because I just like, you know, there's not enough time in the day. And I'm like, well, what do you do all day? He's like, I don't know. I just kind of like eat Pop-Tarts and watch videos. And I'm like, well, do you work on your resume? He's like, yeah, you know, I try to find time to work on my resume. I'm like, no. If you want a job, your job is to get out there and go find a fucking job. Go to the same place at the same time. Leave your house. Go to the library. Make a time. From like 10 to 12, you'll work on getting a job. That's your job until you have a job. And then guess what? Your earnestness will pay off and eventually you'll get a job, because I'm telling you what, I needed a job. It took me about a week to get one once I decided that that's what I wanted to do. And I'll tell you what, getting a job right now is super fucking easy because the market is flooded with millennials and zillennials and yollennials, or whatever the fuck they're being called in the public eye now, who don't know how to fucking work. And even myself, who is 2 decades plus, I can show up and outwork a 20-year-old because he just wants to do what? Drink Mountain Dew and play Call of Duty. He doesn't really want a job or need a job. He's not hungry for one because his mom feeds him fire Cheetos and Hot Pockets. You know, it's crazy. But you know, tell Junior to go sleep outside on cement for a couple weeks, and you'd be amazed at what that does for your priorities. So yeah, so it's funny. I sent that off. I thought it was kind of like a funny game, and then like I waited like a day or two, and then another letter from jail comes out. This time he goes, and I like the way he writes. I like what he has to say. This is why I bothered with it, because it's forward momentum. I like the way he thinks. I like the results he's made in the actual physical world. So I value his advice worth at least considering. He's certainly done better than I have. To my knowledge, he hasn't had to sleep outside in the past 2 years. He goes, the entire world is a game, a battle of ideas. Jail is what can happen to people who try to change the world. An unfortunate possible outcome of playing the game. When you make a roll of the dice, sometimes it will go well, sometimes it will not. It's Monopoly. You put on the dice. Sometimes the dice roll good, sometimes they roll bad. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. The spectator may laugh, but the player has another chance. It's part of the game. An unfortunate possibility of being a player in the arena. Spectators never need to worry. Jail won't happen to the man stacking grocery shelves. Jail won't happen to the man cleaning cars. Jail won't happen to the men who don't play the game. Jail is an unfortunate possible outcome for men trying to make a change. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm fucking X, Nelson Mandela, and more. They were given some bad roles, but you still remember their name. Great players of the game. The spectator will cheer and boo, watch the entire show, but no one will remember him. He's not playing the game. He's only watching it. One day I will be released because I know I've done nothing wrong. I'm not a criminal. I have not broken the law. I'm a player of the game trying to change the world for the better. The truth will win, and I will continue to positively influence the world. Remember the name. And then he signs off. I dig it. I dig what the fuck he had to say. That's pretty fucking cool. Let's see here. I did write him back, just my phone is highly unorganized. That's pretty fucking silly. Here we go. Nope. Show quote text. I fucking hate this shit. This is the highly entertaining part of the show. This is where you guys go and drink a beer or something. I should have had all this shit ready to go. Well, fuck. I can't find it, so I guess I'm just gonna have to riff on this fucking thing on my own. It's let's see here. Poisonous. Okay. So the meat and potatoes of that particular thing was that if you're a spectator watching shit happen, you're not actually out there making shit happen. You're sitting on the sidelines while you're letting other bolder people take the risk. Now, sometimes that's probably a safe thing to do. If somebody wants to go pee on an electric fence, why don't you let them go first? Observe how that works for them. But if you are standing back because you fear the consequences of making an actual move, then that is something that might not always work well for you. You'll get left behind. It shows a lack of boldness and a lack of initiative. It's it only serves to really forestall the bad feelings. You know, people can be fickle things. People want safe, predictable outcomes. What's safe and what's predictable, though, uh, does not make you immortal. You know, and I'm not saying there's no merit to pushing a broom. I've pushed brooms. I'm not saying there's no merit to stocking shelves. I've stocked shelves. Uh, and I'm not saying, you know, jump off a bridge because everybody else jumped off a bridge. I'm saying that there are times where you must decide whether you're going to push past your current situation and take a risk, or are you going to just succumb? And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like, you know, like at the end of Titanic, that bitch on the fucking door or whatever. Uh, there was plenty of room for both of them on that door, but Leonardo DiCaprio decided to freeze to death. And, you know, he should have climbed up on the door and said, like, bitch, scoot over, you know, or they should have taken turns or something. But that's just the thing. He decided to succumb, to sink, to die. Life can be humbling. There have been times where forward momentum gets forestalled by the very institutions that we have erected to protect us. You run into some red tape, society's limitations. And if you don't adapt, you die. There's been very definite instances in my life where I could not stand the way shit was, but I accepted the foundational rules of whatever the fuck I was trying to do. I was trying to live with somebody, and that person says, if you want to live here, you have to live like this. And I said, no, thank you. And then what's the consequence? It's either you live here like this under my roof with my rules, or you can take a walk. Well, in that instance, taking a walk was what was worth it. So I took a walk. I don't see it necessarily as taking an L. I don't always think that I behaved correctly. But it allowed me to hit a reset button and to realign with what is actually important in life. So, what is actually important to life? Your sense of self, your morals, your the way in which you move. Now, here's a good example: social politeness, whatever that is. Now, I'm not saying to go out and say like "fuck you" and push old ladies over and spit on old men. No, what I'm saying is that most people are disrespectful and probably not worth your interactions with them. Now, again, I if you're riding the elevator, you're on the bus or whatever, I'm not saying, you know, fuck everybody, don't talk to them. What I'm saying is, as you think about, and we'll circle back to this, as you think about the type of person you're trying to become, you must exercise careful forethought when constructing your inner circle, because those people will come to define you. There's an old saying: the 5 closest people to you define you, because those are the little birds in your ear. Now, I'm not saying like your kid or whatever, raise your kid. Your kid is under your protection, under your guidance. You're the voice in your kid's ear. But the people who are defining what is and is not possible for you, that's who I'm talking about. Exercise caution. You have to know who are the shysters. You have to know who are opportunists. And to borrow a word from somebody who's getting more and more internet famous, narcissists, right? You cannot allow yourself to be exploited, and you cannot allow yourself to be slotted into some sub role that you know will cause your own extinction. Now, I like this idea that for thousands of years, your ancestors, and particularly if you are a guy and you're listening to this, your male ancestors had struggled to construct this world that we are currently enjoying. Right? We had to what did we have to do today? Most of us, we had to wake up, we had to scratch our ass, we had to get in the shower, wash our balls, and then we pick up our smartphone and see what Twitter wants us to be mad about today. When you go back 200, 300 years, those guys had to get up and fucking chop wood and go slaughter dinner and keep raiders off their fucking land so they won't have their daughters carried off. No, your line didn't fight tooth and claw for hundreds of years to build this world for you to not do anything with it. And not only that, you're at the point right now where you are the standard bearer of your banner, of your fucking mantle. It's kind of cute. People go online and they look up like cute baby names, and then they look up like, what's the meaning of my last name? And they have a coat of arms. They have a fucking motto. They have like a list of major accomplishments they did, and you're just kind of like, oh, that's cool. I should probably print that out and frame it and put it in my office or something. But you're not really like considering everything that they fucking had to do just to put your ass in the position that it is now. And then not only that, you're not feeling the full weight of responsibility for the future of that line. Right? I mean, I have a duty to create savage offspring and send them out into the world to unfuck what has been fucked by ideologues. And I'm not talking about the well-intentioned ones that are just easily led and misastray. I'm talking about the evil motherfuckers who are purposefully eschewing perception in order to make you compliant. Now, I've done my best, and I'm not done yet. I still have a couple more decades in me to push back against that. But my child turns 10 years old this week. And it's up to me to help point out what's illusion and what's bullshit. And that's why I say it's savage spirituality. There's like a duty to be part warrior, part priest, and part healer, right? You have to be able to articulate clearly where we came from, who created us, where we're heading. You have to be able to fight and defend yourself. You have to be able to heal injuries. And you have to be able to lead. Those are all very important skills. And particularly once you've reproduced. Too many people do that haphazardly. Do you understand the awesome power of creating life? I don't think a lot of people do. A lot of people just want to get fucked. And getting fucked and creating life are two different things. And that's also another thing. They're trying to destroy the family unit. We no longer have tribes of people. We have lost soul islands. You have lone wolves out there. And not even lone wolves. You have like, we're not wolves anymore. We're like those little bitch dogs that people take into Walmart to go have tutus put on them. And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about general people. They're not even generals. They should be demoted to privates. if you are a person who has a constitution and an ear to hear the truth, then you also become the truth standard bearer in the self-same instant. And you owe it to yourself to use the way you walk throughout the world as an outpicturing of your understanding of that truth. And that means you got to walk tall. You got to not waver in your fucking absolute conviction. You can't stutter in the face of questioning. You can't let people play little fucking mind games with you. You can't let people dictate the fucking cadence of a conversation. And you know what I mean? It's those people who try to make you trip over your words or steer things around or change a subject or sideways deflect or whatever that. Thought, word, and deed, those are your main tools in creating reality. And usually, always, it starts with a thought. That's why everybody is attacking the way that you think. And they're using speech to do that. Oh, you got to respect my pronouns. Oh, you can't. That's hate speech. If you are afraid to speak, and what are words? Words are made out of letters. Letters are made out of sounds. Sounds stand for thoughts and rhythms in your head. So they're using words to reprogram the way you think. And you'll spit out compliant or compliancy. And compliancy and complacency are going to be syllabic in this little mind exercise. I think it's a clever little ruse. I will say that it did take some thought and some construction in its implementation, but it's ultimately a false endeavor. Because if you can hear these words, I know that you don't fall for that. I don't either. And especially now when it's like 5:10 p.m. on the East Coast, and there's 3 savages listening to this live. I know that it's going to go out, and there's going to be people who are kicking themselves that they weren't in at this juncture, because this is a pretty cool fucking conversation to have, and it needs to be had. There's an old saying: if not now, when? If not you, who? And that goes back to sitting on the sidelines. Are you going to sit by on the sidelines, watching your life go by and acting like you're not the fucking director of your own movie? You think that you're just like a side piece in your own life? Again, that's not what your fucking dads and grandparents have bled out and fought for on the battlefields. I mean, think about just what we had to do to get out from under the thumb of royalty. We had to chop some motherfuckers' heads off. We had to jump in a boat. We had to come over here. We had to fight these guys off our goddamn continent. And then we had to go to a different continent to stop them from coming over here. This is all so that we have our own space to do what the fuck we need to do. And I hate this because I have a heart, I have thought, I have love and compassion to give to people, but life by necessity hardens you up in specific ways. And then it makes you really take stock about who really deserves that side of you. What have they done to earn that side of you? Most people don't. That's why I don't stand toe to toe with most people. The people that I do stand toe to toe with, you guys, because you understand this shit. You get the truth. You go out and you do the same thing. I've seen you do it. I've seen some of you reemerge from the hard callous of fuck this. Sometimes fuck this is a necessary chrysalis that we throw ourselves in. I did it for a little while. I said fuck this. But you know what? I came out and I said, yeah, fuck this. But guess what? I'm back. My dick is in full swing. You will feel its effects. All right, you guys, I'm about to get out of here. I just wanted to say some of that shit. Before I go, remember to fucking thumbs up the video and send it out to people who find it amusing or people who need a fucking pep talk from the Savage. Lift high, whatever it is you are imbibing once again, and join me in the salute. Here's to us, or what's like us, not a goddamn thing.